All right, wholeness. So it's been a few years since I tried to do a live on YouTube. Used to do classes on here and kind of got kicked off more or less. They start blocking my feed, so we'll see how this goes. Um, this is what you'll see a lot of posts before I normally do these on TikTok, but I'm banned over there. And Facebook has a limited reach, and they have been known to mess with my audio. So I'm just trying to see if I can get this done over here. This is my card breakdown for the day, but this is for tomorrow, which is 2/17/2024. And this is what is called Heels Numerology or Integrated Dissection Numerology. This is my own format. So for anybody who comes in here is looking at this, you start trying to apply what you think you know on there. That's kind of like one of the worst things you could do. You cannot bring your level of knowings into here where I only try and speak on awareness. One of the things that you always hear me talk about is knowledge has got us all fucked up. So if it sounds like pea soup to you, that means stick with what you got going on. But one of the things you'll always hear me say is you gotta let your life tell your tale. If what you got going on is working for you, then none of this should really matter. If what you got going on ain't working for you, then sit down and honor the perspective, but stop shooting yourself in the foot by trying to apply what you already know when what you already know is part of the problem. So Hills numerology for tomorrow. The overall breakdown, and I post it on my other social media, so I'm reading off my other phone. Creatively manifesting struggles. If all the mind knows is pieces and strife, why would you be foolish enough to think it's going to support wholeness and proper abundance? Take your time with that. If the mind is always looking for dissection or it's always trauma responsive to struggles, it's not going to use a normal format of just wanting to find peace. It's going to talk about it, but it's not going to apply it. Again, let our life tell our tale. We say the same thing. We want something better, but collectively we're doing the same stuff. Nobody's doing anything different. We're just trying to brace before it becomes too much. So that goes further into saying just an overwhelming abundance of bullshit to struggle with or lose yourself within. And that's really all it is, kind of like I'm saying. This is a spiritual witness protection program. You've lost your identity as source or as a being that was manifested into abundance, and now you're just trying to find yourself out here into all this manipulated struggle. This isn't who you are, but you start investing in it, and it's almost again, like I said, a witness protection program where you in hiding. But who are you hiding from? So before we start breaking down the numbers, let's just ask that question. The first thing is exactly like I said, this is creatively manifesting struggles. All we are doing is feeding our energy into systems of struggles, trying to find a way to overload it or being so angry at it that we're hoping that one day we'll find ourselves in power. So the primary thing, creatively manifesting a struggle. What is the struggle? You're a martyr. This is the hangman in reverse. This is a ritual. The number 12, the hangman, your hangups. You are hung up. You are creatively manifesting struggles and you're hung up in the process. You're becoming a martyr because you're trying to fight something that, as will come up in this reading, you're trying to fight something that you actually helped create. You helped create the situation to put us in struggle, and then you're going to try and fight it. But the deeper rooted part of that is you didn't do anything to take your power out of it. You still dumping your power in it, expecting different results, and then you're going to try and fight from what you're still empowering. Make it make sense. So you're a martyr because you caught up in the ritual and you don't even know how to set yourself free. And again, like I was saying, you're in the spiritual witness protection program. You've become more supportive for what has you captured than for trying to find your identity that might properly help you set free. So the question I had asked was, what are you hiding from? Since you're in the witness protection program, what are you hiding from? I can already tell you, it's yourself. It's a deeper rooted identity issue. It's a trauma. But let's see what the cards say. Oops, the abuser. I'm hiding from the abuser. I'm in motion. Five. Five is movement. Five is manifestation. Five is manipulation. Five is amplification. Five, if you use it properly, is stillness. So I'm in a witness protection program that has me hung up in a ritual that is basically making me my own martyr because I'm hiding from where I think the abuse is at. If you're in a witness protection program, you are trying to find a new identity, which means the other identity is already compromised. That's the abuser. You're running from the abuser, but the abuser is you. It's misuse of your energy. The fact that you have been tricked into thinking, or the fact that you have been used into creating something that should not have been created, you're already caught up. So now we get into numerology, and I hope that didn't confuse you. But again, like I said at the beginning, for anybody coming in here, resonance and ignorance is your choice. I only speak from perspective, and I only deal with awareness, not knowledge. And I don't even too much invest in wisdom, because you can be wise about some shit you ain't supposed to know. That ain't really wisdom. First rule of knowing is I know nothing at all. I'm just aware of a lot of shit. And I do that by sitting still and honoring the different perspectives of what possibly is going on. And then I see which one produces the highest probability of reality within this illusion. Take your time with that one too. So getting into numerology, and again, this is my own number system that's been developed. So 2/17/2024, connected to starring in manipulative manifestations, aka scarcity consciousness. It's basically Precious's mama from that movie, where basically Monique, she was telling Precious, "You ain't shit," and I'll read what I put: "You ain't shit because I ain't shit, and I will shit on you if you try to be something more." That's where a lot of people's mindsets are at. Um, the sad thing about that is it's a duality. The rich people, we can all sit there and say they ain't shit because they sitting there watching struggle. They're not shit to us, and we're not shit to them. And if we try and do more to take from them, they'll shit on us to put us back in place. You understand that? But then within that lower tier of us not being shit, because we all down here in struggle mentality and scarcity consciousness, well, even the middle class is now the poor class, shit like that. The people down there in the lower tier have no trust for each other, that they hold each other down too. Basically, crabs in a barrel. This is not just race related. This is in general. The common man, who could basically put their resources together and get rid of the rich who are not looking out for us, won't get together, because the rich have left us enough issues down here till we don't trust each other and we don't trust ourselves, but yet we never get rid of them. We never stop empowering them to keep on putting us in struggle, which means all we do is struggle together, but never together. So 2/17/2024, you connected to starring in manipulated manifestations. It's a whole system designed to keep you at the bottom and keep whatever's on top on top. But here's the other thing, and I'll pull a card for it in a second, but that's where that bullshit y'all believe, karma, that's where y'all need to let that shit go. If whoever created karma, karma is the imbalance between two experiences, or one experience between two people. People can be plural. So this person that's on top is already above the karma. That person that's below is already under suppression of the karma until that person on top does something different to where it now steps back down into the karmic field. The only person eating karma is the motherfucker that's already been eating shit. Let your life tell your tale, because if that shit that y'all keep saying, karma gonna do this, karma do that, karma sleep. Like a whole bunch of other things in this universe that y'all keep waiting on. Sleepy as shit. So you keep on connecting to starring in shit that's already under manipulation. But if you keep getting taught manipulation by what's already got control over your manifestation, the only thing they're going to teach you how to manifest, more manipulation. Oops. Why? Because I don't know. Uncertainty. That 2 and that 9. That 2, what I think I know. 9 has me under control. 9 is your highest vibration. 9 is also the number for control. 9 basically is endings. So I'm going to tell you how it ends. 2, connect to how it ends and just go through the journey. But don't have any certainty on how it's going to work out. Let me tell you the foolishness of that. That is like going to get a job at a factory, but not knowing how much you get paid, not knowing what your hours are, and not even knowing how to do your job. But you're just going to show up. I don't know what I'm doing, but they hired me. Yeah, but what are you doing and how much you getting paid? I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. They gonna take care of me. Holy shit, trust. Scarcity consciousness. Anything is going to be better than nothing. So as long as they give me the promise of showing me something different, I'll keep on doing the same. Keep on placing your fate in the hands of what's already taken over your destiny. So like I said, you pretty much playing into that bullshit y'all call karma. What is karma? Shit that's already been revealed. That too done already fooled you. That too, that shit you know, done already fooled you, but that's going to be the judgment. Karma is your judgment. Karma is, if this experience is not working out for me, why am I still working for it? Holy shit, I'm not. Holy shit, no karma. Karma is an energetic force. So if I'm not showing up for a situation that ain't got nothing to do with me, holy shit, not my circus, not my monkeys. If I'm not showing up for a situation that does not have anything to do with me, there's no karmic value. But you can lie to yourself all day long. But your judgment will reveal everything. And somebody asked me this question the other day, and I know they weren't trying to be funny, but told you, I'm a contrarian. I think a little bit different because I allow myself to think for myself. Are you judging people? You goddamn right I'm judging people. Because if I get out here and I don't judge how your energy is or what kind of relationship I'm going to have from entangling my energy with you, I'm a fool. You have to give everyone a chance. Nope. I got to make sure that I give me a chance first. And getting out here and being foolish with known fools make you a fool too. So hell yeah, I judge you. I judge you because if I'm not going to be anything working out for you, I'm not going to do that to you. If you're not going to be anything worth working out for me, I'm not going to do that to me. Judgment. That's not what it means. No, that's the lie that you keep on buying, and that's why your ass is still caught in that karmic bullshit of doing the same. Oops, next line, 2277. Building delusions, aka soul roles. This will hurt some of you. Again, I only speak from perspective and experience. You gotta let your life tell your tale. But sooner or later, you gotta quit believing in all these fucking fairy tales and fantasies. Soul roles, building delusions. 22, the master builder. 77, the master spiritualist. The person that invests in delusions because they're trying to pull bits and pieces from what can potentially be reality and what is clearly illusion. And then they try and make a story. So if you only building on delusions and then you're investing in it, because remember, we're still in spiritual witness protection program, we need a safe identity. Then let's build a soul role. Holy shit. Now I'm an indigo. Now I'm a star seed. Now I'm from the Lyrian system. Now I'm from the Vegan system. And now I'm from the Orion system. And now I'm Atlantean. And now I'm a Draconian. And now I'm a dragon. And now I'm a phoenix. And now I'm this. And now I'm that. I'm everything that I can potentially become. Holy shit. I'm potentially everything I can become within this witness program called creation because it's all my energy used to manifest it. So is it a lie? No. Yes. It's a perspective. Whatever you invest your energy in within an illusion has the potential to become a accepted reality. Not real, but an accepted reality based off of the energetic investment and value of identity. So what I put was building delusions off of soul roles. You pick an identity to become, and we, the thoughts that are running the show, will feed you a backstory to build off of as long as you invest in what you think. When you invest in what your thoughts are telling you, it becomes a reality. What do you say? Well, I thought you was cheating, and then everything that you did made me think that, what I thought was real. Person could be innocent as shit, but the delusions in your mind, the paranoia within your mind will have you invest in what you think, and it'll become the only thing you look for. It's trauma bonding. So when you are only building off of the trauma, and what was the trauma? All you knew was there's an abuser or there's an abusive energy within me, and I don't want to get caught in it. That's a psychosis, people. When you got something going on within you and you don't face it and you try and create a new identity to hide from it, you split yourself from within. So 2277, you start creating all these soul roles because they become more glamorous for you to invest in than sitting your punk ass down to be still and facing the abuser called me. You like your soul roles. You like your soul roles. They become my motivation. That too, what I know, 8, will show me a better struggle. The field of infinity. A 8 is nothing but an infinity that won't sit still. The infinity is nothing but an 8 that won't wake up. They're the same thing. The 8, the number of struggle, is an infinity that won't sit still. The 8, the symbol of infinity. Work with me. This is the queen of waters. The queen is a central figure of influence. The waters, creation. Whatever is influencing your creation will have your ass out here creating soul rolls. And you can invest in becoming them more than you will invest in basically getting out of this system of fragmentation or facing yourself and releasing a trauma. It's not about fighting a trauma. It's understanding where the trauma came from and asking myself the real question of, which one do I love more? It or me? And it's going to be offensive to some of y'all. That's really as simple as it goes. Such and such did this to me 498 years ago and I still ain't let go. Do you love it more than you love yourself? And the minute you start all that but and all these justifications for why it's just not that easy, you just made it that hard. You've already shown me your motivation. You're more motivated by struggling with it than you are for setting yourself free. Shh. Let your life tell your tale. Don't argue with me. Argue with your mama. Shh. So 2277, you building a bunch of delusions and they just soul rolling your ass over and over. Next line, 288. That 2, knowledge. What I'm connected to, what I'm reflecting on, the only thing I think I see. But if the only thing I think I see has been given to me from something else, Jedi mind trick. Is it really there or have you just been taught to see the illusion? So 2, the illusion, and 88 in my number system is what you call the gatekeepers. Remember I told you 8 is your struggle points. If there's 2 8s together, there's a program of struggle. So I got 2 88s. I got 2 points of struggle that are caught within me. Your 88s, the gatekeepers, they're traumatic memory points that are within your meat suit, within your programming. It's not just your meat suit. They're within the perception of your soul. Remember we talking about soul roles? Every time you keep on creating an identity to become because you wasn't strong enough, I hate to use that word, you wasn't aware enough to sit still and face yourself, you keep on creating identities. Every time you create an identity and you realize that's not what it is, it's just like a computer program. It sinks down further. Holy shit, I'm going to try and become this, Windows 95. That didn't work. Well, let's fix it next time. Holy shit, I'm going to try and become that. Well, that didn't work. Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows NT, 8.1, whatever. And they're all stacked on top of each other. And I've been talking about this for about 6 or 7 years. It's just like a computer program. When it comes to them 88s, when you're dealing with like Windows systems, 95 or 98 placed on top of 95, if you know how to hack the program, you can access 95 through 98. You understand what I'm saying? So just because you layered something on top of it don't mean it's gone. It's still in there and it still has use. These 88, these gatekeepers, they still have traumatic memories from what they went through. And even though they're suppressed down within you, when you have a current level experience that is reminiscent of what is considered a trauma by them, they react. For those of you that are new to me, traumas are double-ended. Traumas are beyond that perception of good and bad. If I had the best steak in my life, that's a trauma because now I want more and I'm worried I'm not going to get it. It produces investment. That's a trauma. If I had the worst steak in my life, I don't ever want to see it again. That's a trauma. It produces investment. That connotation of traumas are just bad things, that's that shit that you keep getting taught. So 288s, 2 gatekeepers are far more deadlier than 1. And I say that because yesterday's reading basically said that there's 1 gatekeeper, 1 core program in you that is telling all the rest of them to shut up and let me run the show. Now we're dealing with a tag team. There's 2 of them inside of you that have the same function. They come into agreement. Windows 95 and Windows 98 said, hey, Windows 8.1 ain't running the show the right way. Let's get together and kick 8.1 out of the way. That's a real-time function. Some of you can attest for that. When you sitting there and you like, man, why do I keep producing these same cycles and patterns? It's because you got some 88 functions in you that you haven't faced. And then that shit that's sitting to the top that you think you're facing, it's only in the way of what's deeper. That's that shadow work shit y'all keep lying to yourself about. Well, I fixed the shadows or what? Well, I had an abusive relationship where I made 900 damn mistakes and then somebody made one mistake, but they hurt me. So I need to heal from that. Whatever. This is soul work when you start dealing with your 88s. This is getting rid of the imprints in my soul that keep telling my soul to stay in separation through soul roles. Not this human level, I've been on earth 35 years, but this is the only time I've ever been here. Yeah, I'm an immortal being. Make it make sense. How have you always been here and never not been here, but this is the only time that you got access to? Strike that from the records, Yonder. That'll confuse about half of them. So 288s, you like I said, two of them are stronger than one. Together they can hide a lie by teaching you that it's the truth. Basically everything I just said. When they get together and they say, well, we're gonna run the show by getting rid of what's sitting on top. So now they pay more attention to what's better for us. That's separation from within separation. So disciples discipline followers into an occult or into a cult. You get that? When you have disciples that believe in the programming so strong, they'll find followers and they will discipline them until they become followers too. And now you got a cult. Now it's occult. OCCULT. Basically spell work. Kind of like the Kingo curse, if you know anything about that. It's a Leviathan spell where you lose your memory. Kind of akin to what some people call, what I've always called, the well of forgetfulness. You go through a life cycle, you hit the reincarnation point, but yet you come back with suppressed memories. They're not directly accessible unless you get corrupting programming, and now you're always having deja vus or direct memory access to times before. That's accessing your 88s indirectly, if you understand that. So within that spell of being taught how to believe, some points never leave your programming, either because you believe in it so much that you never let it go, or it never set right with you, so you always keep your eye on it. I never trusted that shit. So the next time I see it, I know not to trust it again. You understand that? So 288s can actually get together to try and mess you up, or the converse as a contrarian is, they get together to try and help you stop playing the same game. So your core traumatic memory points are not always working against you. A lot of times, and that's been my experience, a lot of times they're working for you because they are you. You start to lose that line of separation. So if you're connected to your core traumatic memory points, you can release them. Here's the core traumatic memory points. It's the ritual you've already been sacrificed. Remember, we started with a 12. You're a martyr at the beginning where I said you keep on creatively manifesting the struggle. When you get to that point of working with your 88s, your core traumas, they tell you, holy shit, you done made too many sacrifices. Now you're stuck because we're stuck, but yet you are me, but we've been taught not to think that way. You understand that? You've been taught to process your identity as who you are, even though who you are, I've been that before too. You start speaking in a whole different level of awareness and understanding, and then half the shit you thought you know goes right the fuck out the window because holy shit, you got to make this shit make sense to me no more. I mean, now you can't keep lying to me no more. Them thoughts that meant to keep you in the game or playing soul roles over and over, you tear them apart. The number for thoughts in my number system is 3. 1 plus 2, 3. You tear the thoughts apart, and if you tear the thought apart, you'll get to meet the thinker. Here's a clue, without even going on this reading right now. If you tear apart a thought within your mind and you're not the thinker, that's not your thought. That's a programming. If you tear a thought apart in your mind and you see where, holy shit, I'm the one that did it, now you're the thinker, but you also have to be responsible and accountable for why that thought had space in the first place. It's not so much what that thought was trying to get you to do, it's holy shit, why am I doing this to myself? Turn that shit back around on you, accountability and responsibility, and act fucking accordingly, even if the whole action is keep still. I just need to quit chasing all these fucking thoughts, and then holy shit, might be able to see where the hell they're coming from. Is this some fragmentation shit where I'm around the wrong people who their erratic lifestyle is feeding off into me, and now I'm buying into holy shit struggle mentality? Now we all in the witness protection program because I'm not safe in who I am and they're not safe in who they are. And if I ain't shit and they ain't shit, precious mama. You get it? When you start to release yourself from the programming and other people who don't want to let go of the programming see it, holy shit, you become the black sheep. You become the black sheep because you're now facing your core trauma when the other people have used the trauma as what's keeping them safe. Take your time with that one. That's spell work. That's a spell. Ignorance. The next line, 369. 3, them thoughts, the divine empress, that which rules creation. No, that which orders creation. And I say that for a reason. 3 is the empress. 4 is the emperor. The emperor sits on the throne, but the emperor answers to the empress. So 3, the thought, makes the ruler, which is creation. Creation answers to the thought. The only problem with that scenario is the thought has to come from a thinker. So if you're not taught to think, then the thought is already in control. So 369, the thought is already telling you what 69 is. 69 has a multiplicity. 69, if you look at them on a piece of paper, that's yin yang. It's a 6 and it's a 9. It's perspective. They're the same thing. They're both a 0 with a tail. They're both sperm. On a higher level, they're both sperm. They're points of creation. They're the masculine energy for creation. So, and that's balance. Balance is I've already stepped into duality. There's more than one of me. Holy shit, time out, Hoss. How can there be more than one of you? I'm in a witness protection program. You need to quit becoming sperm. So 69 is balance, but 69 as we know it as adults, it's a sexual position. This is a whole sexual experience. So you think 69 is a balance. Balance is a lie. If you're talking about dealing with yourself in wholeness, if I deal with myself in wholeness, there cannot be pieces unless I'm back there at that fucking delusional motherfucker again. If I'm in wholeness, there is no separation. Unless you're going to lie to yourself. So what I wrote was, you think this is balance. This is a spiritual, and I'll be nice because I'm on YouTube. This is a spiritual sexual event. An orgy of thoughts, having sex to the point of taking the life out of the thinker who is left senseless and in addiction to all of the infinite possibilities of what it can be by coming. Take your time with that. The possibilities of what you can create by coming, an orgasmic experience, is an addiction. Whereas you were whole and nothing, which was basically everything, the potential to create everything outside of you can become addiction. It's like a crackhead. I'm good. Well, I'm telling you, if you smoke this shit, you're going to be fucked up. All right, well, I'm good. I ain't going to, well, you know what? Let me try it. Oh, shit, I can't put it down. Now you hooked. When the thinker gave rights to the first thought, the ability to think, that first thought already took the power of the thinker. And that first thought didn't want to give it back. That first thought sponsors creation. And now, holy shit, what do you have? A bunch of thinking thinkers who are all ran by the initial thought that allowed them to create. That's some shit that's probably going over a lot of y'all head, and that's fine. This is for whoever's on this level. And that's not me trying to be funny. But if you don't understand that it takes a thought to sponsor creation, you need to start figuring out why the thinker sponsored the thought. That's where the balance is at. If the thinker has already been left out of the equation and he's just chasing the results of the thought, that's that going on a journey bullshit. Just worry about what happens when you get there. That's that bad judgment I was talking about. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Just show up. No, I need to know what's going on before you get my energy. And some of y'all would do well to practice that for you cyclic thinkers and overthinkers. Before you just start letting these thoughts run you all over the place, sit your punk ass down and be still and say, you know what? Let me figure out why these thoughts are coming. Is it because fill in the blank? And then once you can start to dissect that stuff, you've reaffirmed your awareness and you've gotten out of the system of control. Try it. You might like it, Mikey. So 369. You're thinking in the term of balance, but the thought only wants you to keep having sex with it. Impregnate the thought, and all you get is multiplicity of thoughts. That's why you keep seeing 333 everywhere, and that's why you get the analogies of the Kundalini, the 33, and the 33 Masons. It's a programming flaw. It's a programming flaw to where within this universe, you a reflection of yourself, you can't lie to yourself. You just can't tell yourself the truth because you don't know the right perspective. You understand that? You're not lying to yourself. You're just not telling yourself the truth. And you're not telling yourself the truth because you don't know which one is a lie. You just get the perspective of choice. So you are being shown. It ain't just the Simpsons already shown you. It's no. All of your thoughts have already told you everything you need to see. You just ain't got good enough judgment to see which ones are fooling you. So you try and attach to all of them, which means you've already lost the game. If you keep attaching to everything's in front of you, you already dispersed yourself into it. That becomes your balance. You've now lost wholeness, and now you're trying to find a positive positioning between you and everything else. But if I'm dealing with wholeness and I now have to be balanced with something else, holy shit, karmic. Because I now lost me to sponsor it, and it requires a fucking journey. So 369, this ain't balance. This ain't balance. This shit is pulling your fire apart. This is a raging inferno. 23, movement. 5, movement. 23 is the element of fire. 2, I'm connected to. 3, the thought. Basically everything I just got through saying. I'm connected to the thought, and if the thought has me moving, it has my fire, it has me. I'm the burning bush. I'm the phoenix. I'm the one that's on fire. Why? Because I didn't keep still and honor my energy. I was more passionate about what was burning me than I was about putting out my own flames. 2 + 3 is 5. 5 is the Hierophant. 5 is movement, manipulation, manifestation, all that other shit all over again. So the next line, 99. 99 in my number system is the end game. Good video game, you make it a level 99, you fight the shadow boss, and it either goes to level 100 or it starts back over. You get to the end of the game. The whole problem was it's a game. So the end game, what is the end game? Create. Basically everything I've been saying, and a lot of y'all might not be catching, the whole thing is the thought only wants you to think further thoughts to help sponsor its creation. So the end game is create. Be the come, but not the nut who won't stop coming. That's what I wrote down. Be the come, but not the nut that won't stop coming. That's the end game. Just keep providing. Remember I told you 69 was sperm? Just keep providing your cosmic energy to help creating, and then I'll show you who you can become and what you created. But wait a minute. If I help create it, what's becoming, who was I before it all got created? Shh. Don't worry about who you were. Don't worry about who you were. I'll just show you how to move. So remember at the beginning, if you were in here, I told you you were the abuser. That's a perspective. It might have been that thought that convinced you to move. You're now scared of that thought that convinced you to move because you weren't smart enough to keep still. That could go all kind of places, but I'm not going to deal with that right now. So let's figure out that 99, because it's what I call the irresponsible God. God, generator, operator, destroyer. It's no different than a child who makes something, makes a toy, and then lose interest in it soon after. They put it up. It's basically spiritual Toy Story. You up there in Woody's toy box waiting on something to come play with you. You in Woody's toy box waiting on something to come play with you, but the game done already ended. It done already built you and left you there. But what was it? You. You sponsored your own creation based off of a thought. 99. The end game was for you to create. Let's use the duality. What happens when you keep creating? You lose God. 34, my number system. Remember I told you thoughts. 3, make the ruler. 4, the thoughts that become creation is God. So you lose yourself. The queen of air, the influence over my thought. What was the influence over my thought? The thinker. But the analogy I just gave you, what I showed you was the influence over the thinker was the thought. So you've already lost control before we even get here. So that's one part of the end game is you already lost yourself to the thought the minute that you let it present you with an option. The minute you let it present you with doubt or fear, You already abused yourself. What do you say? We always say like when you watch a video game, I'm not a video game, but a game show like Price is Right, and the woman be like, and you be like, pick door number one, and she be like, door number one, and everybody in the audience is like, yeah, yeah, door number one, and she's like, door number two, and you're like, what the hell? We just told her the answer. We all know what's behind door number one, and then she get a piece of shit behind door number two, and everybody look at her like, you should trust your intuition. You should have listened to everybody. We already told you what to do. See, the fact that she doubted herself and had fear in her own decision mean that she chose something that only further pulled her apart or left her with nothing in that scenario. So your doubt and your fear does become the primary form of abuse. And the minute, and this happens in real life, and this happens, it happens in nature too. The minute something smells fear on you, it pounces. The minute a thought fears that you no longer want to be the thinker, it takes over. Creative control. So the other side of that 99, where you done already lost God, now you're under control over what becomes your ruler. The thought becomes your ruler. So here's how the thought rules over you. The thought becomes your 9. You become connected to whatever told you who you are. 3 plus 4, 7. You're broken. You're the broken God. You've already, lost your own power. And now you get ruled over by the Leviathan. What's the snake? Knowledge. You get ruled over by whatever is teaching you. The minute you let a thought determine who you are, you've already lost your rights as a thinker. That's already a game that already ended, but it just won't stop. Next line, 18, it just won't stop. Emotions, La Luna, the moon, 1, potential, 8, struggle. All your potential is in that struggle. What's that struggle? Infinity, the field of infinite choices. You can become anything in infinity. You can become anything. You can 69 anything in the field of infinity and help create it. Even when it's not real, because you know what? It don't matter that it's not real. It's still all you. It's the investment of your energy through belief. So 18, emotion, your energy in movement. Your energy being moved to validate an experience in all its potential. Basically everything I just said. If you know anything, and I tell you this all the time, and it's not just me, the moon's light is not real. The moon's light is the sun's light transmuted and sent back. Yet it is so strong in that transmutation that it can still move all the waters, creation, on this planet. So it takes what's giving life, transmute it, and can potentially give death to whatever is being used to create. Take your time with that one. So 18, La Luna runs the show. Why? Because if the creator isn't smart enough to stop giving up its light, it's already lost control. Then you're emotional. Holy shit, man. I told you 4 in the sense of tarot is God, the Aries energy. Remember I told you God sits on the throne. 4, what's getting created, but what sits behind the throne is the thought, the divine empress. If this God right here wants to have a happy kingdom, he better listen to whoever's sitting behind him. So happy wife, happy life, that type of scenario. So right here, you're only being ruled over by what you're too lazy to stop fighting with. Remember, we're already under control. We are being dominated by whoever is telling us who we are. If you're too lazy to take your power back from whoever is ruling over you, you're a willing slave. Let our lives tell our tale throughout history. If you don't do anything to get out of a system of enslavement, you've already given dominion to what's already ruling over you because you focused on it, which means you was too lazy to free yourself. Then you get freed under conditions. Next line, 36, you'll FAFO. You'll fuck around and find out. FAFO. You'll figure out who you are, or you'll keep getting told what you can become or what you was by others. If you've been in here for a while, which I doubt it, the whole thing was the thought wants you to star in soul roles where it gives you this infinite field of what you can become. And as long as you're more invested in what you can become, you're not worried about how you got there. A good analogy for that is, what was that, Percy and the Lightning Thief? The lotus cakes of forgetfulness. The lotus cakes of forgetfulness, they sitting in there in that casino, and as long as they eat them cakes, all their wildest dreams were being presented in front of them. Who gives a shit about a mission? Shit, I done ate this cake and now I'm in here with 35 virgins. Oops. So until you remember your mission, you ain't missing your mission because you live in your life. So that's how that 3, that thought, will only work on 6 where you've been found. 6 in my number system is the field of infinity. It is your positioning within choices, possibilities, and probabilities. If the thought is trying to show you the best place to be found, and you've already entered into that witness protection program of I want to be anywhere except for me, that thought becomes your best friend. Even when the thought is the abuser, because it's just presenting you with more choices to unravel yourself, basically fragmentation. You'll fuck around and find out sooner or later when you done been pulled apart so far that you ain't got no choice but to hold yourself together. Oops, it is the 36. You will FAFO 36. That thought done pulled you apart so far that now only thing you understand is limitations. All you understand is limitations. Like, wait, man, why? Damn, man, I got these abilities, and I did a past life reading, and I used to be a fire starter a couple of lifetimes ago, and I was a high level telepath, and blah blah blah. And I had all these different abilities over all these lifetimes, and now they starting to come back. You want to know why? Because you didn't hit your limitations. You done unraveled your point. You done unraveled yourself so far that now them 88s I keep telling you about are now starting to play together, and they giving you more pieces of you so that you stop breaking yourself into more pieces. If we glamorize her, him or her, or if we work their ego because they can't stop, if we work their ego and let them have a little bit of these abilities that they perceive to have over all these existences, maybe they'll stop trying to fight for more existences and learn to fucking live. Learn to live here so they stop their perception of infinity by breaking the disruption cycle of fucking reincarnation. But you'll FAFO. You'll FAFO once you get out of these limitations and laws and all this other bullshit y'all keep buying into. Systems of control. 3 plus 6 is 9. Systems of control. Remember, I told you 9 is either going to be your highest vibration or 9 is going to be what's got you under control. Here, knowledge has you under control because you think knowledge is your highest vibration. So 9, control your vibrators. Vibration. Remember, this is a sexual experience. And if you just keep on vibrating and bzzz, making yourself come because you need bzzz, movement, you're just going to keep on creating. Control your vibration. Stop plugging into the matrix. Your thoughts. And that's really all the matrix is. It's your thoughts that keep on presenting ideas and possibilities and probabilities. Stop plugging into the matrix, trying to find a way to stop thinking, because it's just like asking a whore not to fuck. Let's just get that one out the way. Really, that's as simple as it is. Or it's like asking a a candy addict not to buy candy, or not a candy addict not to get candy in the candy store. It's like, why'd you put them there? You put them in a traumatized situation, expecting them to choose themselves when you've already overwhelmingly stacked the odds against them. That is where we're currently at. You people, and I say it in that way for a reason, you people keep buying into this false ideology that we're getting a new earth, we're getting new levels of vibrations while still using the same old levels of vibrations that have left us in systematic overwhelm and lower vibrational tendencies, fear, lack, scarcity, poverty, all that other shit. And you're expecting us, who have willfully and willingly done nothing to eradicate those level of vibrations, to just all of a sudden get something new. That is a corrupted program that tells you if you sit still in shit, eventually the shit will grow flowers. And unfortunately, it's a truth. If you sit still in shit, eventually you're going to grow flowers. But is you going to like the smell is the issue. That's the real thing. If you only sat here and been complicit and complacent in manifesting manipulated struggles, and then you expect the struggles to just go away on their own when their whole program was feed me, see more, You a fool. You a fool if you think what has been controlling us is going to set us free when its whole fucking purpose was eat your energy by controlling you. You further under control than you think. You further under that nine than you think. You've shared your healing with what keep harming you because you embrace the idea that the system will just, we're due. It's a paradigm shift. We're getting downloads. Where are you getting downloads from? You're getting downloads from these soul roles that already said separate into me and then play the ideology of what you can become. So if I'm getting downloads from where I done nutted on myself, did I not just nut on myself again? You taking a face shot. And I'm sorry if that's offensive to you, but you be the fuck all right. You done nutted on yourself and help create something that you think is gonna set you free. You done nutted on yourself again. Holy shit. You done looped yourself into the Ouroboros wheel. Cause you using what got you trapped as what's gonna get you free. And the only thing it's gonna do is keep your ass in motion and under control. Because as long as you can invest more in it than yourself, it can keep lying to you. And as long as you see possibilities and probabilities of what can become healing, you'll be fine. You'll be a happy fool. Last card. You'll be a happy fool. You'll be a happy fool because you don't understand the leak was already within. You just see the urgency of the situation out here. Holy shit, the planet's falling apart. We're in war and famine. It's got to be time for change. You're right. It's the truth. It's time for change. But if you're too busy drowning in what you helped create it, the only thing that's getting changed is you. You're getting placed further in danger, which means you are becoming further in danger within yourself, deeply hung up in the ritual, that you'll abuse yourself a little bit more by providing more energy to what already has you under abuse. The thoughts you keep on investing in, the shit you keep on creating, the shit you keep on voting for. You won't save yourself. You'll keep hiring saviors that never save you. But if they do save you, they save you so that they can keep using your energy. Job well done. Wholeness. That's all I can say.